One of my favourite creatures, the common frog, is my easy way to mix these really bright, fresh colours. With my technique, I'll start off with the outline, then the underdrawing, and finally the rich colour stage stroke detail. Be sure to watch it right through till the end, because here and there I'll be slowing things down in real time so you can take a closer look. So let's dive in and take a look. Right, using a quarter grid for this portrait of a frog. Now, using a 7 or 8 pencil, Carbotella pencil, and just doing it very loosely to start with. We've got those 4 squares to help you out, and it's just a case really of loosely putting it in to start with, getting something down, some sort of shape, and then you can actually change it up by using that Faber-Castell kneadable eraser. It's almost like you're sculpturing the actual shapes. Just go with it really, and just be loose with it. Hold your pencil quite a distance away from the point, so it keeps everything nice and relaxed. It's all about getting the essence down first. You've got to get something down, then you can move it around, because you can get overwhelmed if you just try and get that detail in straight away. What I tend to do as well is compare one shape with another shape, so as soon as you've got some marks down, you can sort of judge what feels right. So if it doesn't feel right, it needs attention. Now here I'm using the horizontal plane, so I'm sort of checking if it's alignment on the horizontal, but you can also do that on a vertical as well. So, and once you're happy with the position of it, then you can go and firm it up then, and get a bit closer to your pencil to firm it up and get those details in, ready for the underdrawing. Now if you're happy with just colouring in the work, you can actually trace it, or even use a projector, or even a 1-inch grid. There's no right or wrong, it's what feels right for you. I mean, if you just want to just enjoy the play of colour and not feel like you want to try and draw the outline, just go with how it feels for you. Now here's the colours I'm going to be using for the underdrawing, keeping things nice and straightforward and simple. Starting off then by just ghosting the image with a kneadable eraser, just taking off the excess grey there, and then starting off with white, always do that, and then add a little bit of a glaze over the top, olive green, yellow ochre, a bit of lemon yellow, and a bit of burnt sienna you'll see me do shortly, and basically just keeping those colours. There's burnt sienna going in with the olive green and a bit of lemon yellow, and just keeping things simple. That's all you need to do really with the underdrawing, and it's all about getting the shapes right, and I'm correcting the outline as well, so I'm moving that around and recorrecting stuff, because when you add form, you tend to, the outline seems a bit different until you start adding form and it starts to feel right, so you need to move it around just slightly here and there. I'm not too concerned about the value, the temperature, the chroma, or the edges at this point. All it is to get those shapes right and to correct the outline. I am playing with colour a little bit just to see what happens, see what's needed, because when I start using the rich colours, I'll be using these exact colours but adding more pigment with this painting. So it's just a case of having a play at this stage and have fun with it, so you're not really overwhelmed by trying to get all that detail in straight away. You're just having a play to get the shapes right, and it's more enjoyable that way as well. It's less stressful because you're not got too much to think about. All you're focusing on is just getting the shapes right. Filling in with this colour wherever you're drawn to. I mean, I did the sort of body and the legs first, but you might want to start on the head. But what I tend to do is get everything around the main subject that's going to stand out, which is the head. So I'm getting everything sort of shaped up around that and comparing one shape with the other. And then when I get around to doing the head, then I've got some sort of feeling to sort of focus on and to get the overall shape and feeling right. Around the eyes, just using the Carbothello white, and then this is the Caran d'Ache dark green pencil, and then again using lemon yellow, brown, burnt sienna, and a bit of olive green, just the same as what I've done with the legs. Again here, just making sure I've got that shape of the highlight there. Just be focused in your heart, so center yourself in your heart, come out of your mind, because your mind will see all these details and cause you overload and overwhelmness. So the more you can focus in your heart, express that energy into the reference image, and you'll be surprised how much love comes back, and the energy of that subject starts to sort of shine out more. And that's what I draw. I paint fresh air, energy and shapes, and everything just comes together without me even thinking about details. I just let the details take care of themselves. If you're enjoying this video, why not subscribe? It's absolutely free, and then you're sure not to miss any of my future videos. Now, there's a background frog there underwater, so that's very lightly done. Using greys for the marks at the moment, keeping it simple. About the same as what I did with the frogs, just using the lemon yellow, white, olive green and burnt sienna to desaturate the olive green and that limey green. Well, now on for the rich colour stroke detail stage then. So starting with black now, and then adding blue and red to give it more depth. Now this is the darkest part of the actual painting, so it really has to stand out. And putting that sort of bit of red in it and a bit of blue really makes a difference, gives it depths. And then I'm just putting the highlights in now with that light green, so I'm just putting more pigment in, so it's the same colours I'm using on the previous under drawing, but what I'm using, instead of the Carbothello white, I'm using Faber-Castell white, which is a lot more richer, more vibrant. So what I'm doing now is pressing on more with the pencil to create more pigment, and the pastel mat just grabs it, and it really is vibrant then. And so then you can use the same combination as you did with doing the underdrawing, where we're done very lightly, but now you're just adding that pressure, putting more richer colours, but desaturating it the same, using green over the burnt sienna, and just adding that sort of more pressure just makes the difference. But you just got to be careful with the shadows, just adding just enough just to create the right sort of texture and the feeling. With shadows, you've got to feel the space inside them, the feeling of sort of very subtle colours, very sort of change of temperature and reflected light. So you're just blocking it in to start with, but then I'll add more and more as I go on. Now I've made a mistake, so to correct that I'm using a mono 0, and it's like a square tip on it, and then just a Faber-Castell rubber, just to take away the pigment and get back to the actual pastel matte surface, and then just change it up. So it's easy done. If you make a mistake, just rub it out and then just reshape. So not a big problem really, just take your time. But these things happen, you know, you have to keep looking in the mirror and checking the way it looks. But the more colour you put on, the more form it comes together. These things sort of stand out, what needs changing. So you just got to go with it and just change it up as you feel it needs it. But as you can see, it's not exactly the same as the reference image. I'm making my own sort of frog, if you like, interpretation of the reference image. That way it keeps everything nice and relaxed, because if you start focusing on all that detail and trying to get it exactly the same, it will cause so much sort of, you know, pressure on you, and also you get sort of overwhelmed by it, all the detail. But what I do is focus on the heart, just feel the energy and just let it flow, just let the details take care of themselves, and the more you focus on your heart, the more you allow these things to happen, it will. If you're enjoying this video, why not give it a like and share it with your friends? It would mean so much to me, as this would help the channel to grow. Just slowing it down now so you can just see a little bit more detail. So I'm using dark green and dark brown together, using lemon yellow just to subtle it up, and then here in the shadows, olive green, lemon yellow to sort of give it that glow, and then just soften it up with the Carbothello white. We're using burnt sienna, which mixes in with the green, which actually desaturates it and creates natural shadows. So mixing the green and the burnt sienna together to get the desired results. Now this is a really interesting part of the portrait where the frog is underwater, so it's sitting on this lily pad, so the lily pad's submerged, that's why again these reflections over it, or the blues and that. And so trying to get that sort of feeling that there's water, you know, he's sitting in water, part of him is out of water, part of it submerged, so to get that feeling of water around him, really fascinating to do. Again, what I'm doing is not looking at the details of it, but feeling that water, feeling the space around him, the coolness of the water. If you can sense all these things, it sort of comes through into your work then. So the more you connect to your reference image, feeling these energies and these feelings and imagining that part, it flows through you then. It just transfers into your work without thinking about it. It just flows from you. And the key thing is to keep in your heart. Just like to take this opportunity to thank all my patrons for all their wonderful support every month. I can't thank you enough. It means the world to me. If you're considering joining me on Patreon and would like the benefit of longer, slower and more in-depth videos, please check out the link in the description below the video. Now, most of the videos I put on Patreon now are all in real-time audio, real-time video. So I'm talking to you as I am drawing, so I'm explaining to you what I'm doing, why I'm choosing that colour, how I'm mixing it. So you get a real flavour to my work, step by step, every moment. So if that interests you, please check out the link in the description below when you've watched the video. Now what I tend to do is let my instincts take over, so wherever I feel like going I will go. So 1 minute I'm on one area, next minute I'll jump to somewhere else. It's just a matter of feeling and trying to get a oneness to your work. So my aspiration is when you look at anything I do, it looks like there's fresh air around it. It don't look like a painting or a drawing, it looks like it's sort of there, you know. That's my aspiration, to get that sense of realism without putting detail in. It's just a matter of connecting to all the elements and letting that work through you. Now here you can see me using the olive green with the burnt sienna and then going in with the black and then keep blending it and mixing it until you get the desired result. See, burnt sienna is like a red, and complementary of the red is green, so that creates natural shadows. Now brown and blue create nice shadows and greys. If you want to know more about how I create shadows using complementary colours, I've got a free class for you here, and the link is in the description below, so you're welcome to it if you want to have a look at that after the video. It's fascinating how when the part of the frog is underwater, you've got that blue shadow, and it's really interesting to try and create the right feel to it. So I'm tinting it with Carbothello, but then I found that use 110, which is grey white, and then glaze that over it. It really softens it and it feels like it's underwater then with that. Now with this area at the back here, I just experimented with different blues just to see what I could get that vibrancy with, and it's just a case of having a play and see what works really. So I needed to glaze with the red in places as well to create more of a purpley blue. I went over with the 110 to create sort of a misty feel to it in places, but then other areas I had to use Pastel to get that freshness. So, and here I'm using a cotton bud just to soften the edges, because you don't want anything sharp, so all the sharp needs to be where the frog is, just round the head there. So I'm opening my eyes to see the colour, squinting my eyes to see the value, and just try and get a natural oneness and freshness and balance to the overall feel of the painting. Thank you so much for watching the video right till the end. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. It would mean so much to me because this would help the channel to grow. Now, it's been a fascinating one to do, like they all are really. Just getting that water, reflections and the feeling of this creature, frog, which is one of my favourite creatures by the way, especially when I was a child. I used to love frogs. I'm just putting my interpretation to it, so it's not exactly the same as the reference image, but it don't really need to be. Just create your own sort of version or interpretation of it. If there's any questions at all, please leave a message in the comment section below this video and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But in the meantime, if you want to see any more of my work, please check out this video here. Take care, bye.